Hello, this is Sir Charles IV coming at ya. Today with the little Babyloon tutorial. I've been using Babyloons now for a little while, and I really enjoy them. I think they're great to go up in trophies because it's hard not to get a star most of the time if you're doing it the right way. My latest video, prior to this one, I recommended bringing both of your heroes. I think I had a 45%. We can look real quick. 46%, but I didn't have my queen. That was quite sad. Very sad. Makes me cry. But anyways, I usually get 1 or 2 stars. Most of the time, high 1s, high 2s. So let's go ahead and go over a couple of them. First we'll go over 2 raids, and then I'll go over 1 I did in war as well. Well, actually, let's do the one in war first, because it was a little bit easier base. But everything's still the same. You still want to make sure that you're following a set plan. I on this particular base, it's Town Hall 10 rushed, but the anti-airs are still pretty strong. So the goal here is always to take down, one anti-air that you think would help you the most. On this particular base, I was thinking about going by ground, but I ended up going with the Babyloon because I knew I could lightning this anti-air. I bring 2 lightnings and an earthquake to help with that. And let's go ahead and click this so we can get in here, so we can actually talk about the troops as well. And then looking at it, if you can, the air blowers are going down, so you don't want to go up. I mean, you can go against air blowers with this particular combo, but if they're in it too long, you just won't do very well. Now, the biggest things you really need to worry about with this particular combo is the anti-air placement. Now, these were kind of in the middle, but if you have anti-air and they're on the outside, I mean, it's doable because your baby dragons will help, but your balloons will end up going more around the base as opposed to inside the base, which we'll go over a little bit more on Town Hall 10s with some Infernos, and you'll see why that's a big deal. Now, always by air, you always have to worry about the clan castle troops and the queen. In this case, the queen's only 14, so she's not that strong. And the clan castle, luckily for us, is also pretty easily gettable. So my plan hitting this base was to take out this anti-air, and then I was going to use king and queen to take out that anti-air. I brought the wall breakers. I brought 5 just in case something crazy happened. Wanted to make sure I get to that wall. And I used the baby dragon to help clear out this area because I didn't want the queen to go around. Sometimes I get quite unfortunate luck, and she's just like, you know what, I'll go around. And then it's just a sad day when she doesn't do what you want. So I started off drawing the clan castle troops, dragging in some minions. It took me a second there to figure out what they were called. I used 2 baby dragons to try to get rid of them. It was a good move because it helped, but I was kind of hoping that, I keep that baby dragon alive. So they both stayed alive. That was pretty effective. Also, the best part about doing this, and my goal was to take out the clan castle troops, and I wanted to take out this archer tower, because when I start coming in with balloons, I could separate them easier and not have to go up there and then. So they're going to end up keep queen down. They are going to get that archer tower, as we'll see when we start using the balloons. I used my king first to take up that expo, and I want to get that archer tower. And then the baby dragon I set down to start clearing out the side. Probably, I guess I could have set it there, but either way. King's still taking the damage. King starts walking, gets that queen to jump. Use the ability. Queen dies. Go ahead and lightning up that one to save a little bit of time. Queen's starting to die more than I want right here, but I go ahead and use her ability. Get her in. Now I start with, in this particular case, I started with the Hellhounds first, because I was going to use the balloons immediately after. Sometimes you don't want to use your Hellhounds first, and you can use your baby dragons to take up a couple of the extra damage for a bit of the time. But just kind of rush this one. And I try to do a little bit of surgical here. I just wanted the balloons to kind of gather up, take the areas one at a time. And then something else I'd like to explain here is I use the hastes first because I want the balloons to catch up to the Hellhounds as fast as possible before they either die or they take too much damage. And second, I like to use rages for the middle of bases to help clear things out. Again, on another video after this, you'll see it more. And the balloons do catch up really quick. They take things out. I fall in behind with the baby dragons. Rage this side. Still have that Hellhound over there. This one I decided to go ahead and let the balloons die and just do what they can. Because I didn't want to waste that rage. Hellhound doing great, taking up all the damage. Go ahead and rage these balloons because I wanted to save some time. As you can see, the baby dragons ended up going towards the center with some Hellhounds or some pups and just eating it up. And then from here, it's just clean up. Pretty much every tower, all the towers except for this one are done, but it's about to be done. So everything's kind of working together, circling all around. So we'll go and speed this up. Even kill the king. And smashed. Had a lot of pups. Had a lot of baby dragons still left. A couple balloons. Okay, so let's go into raids. A little bit tougher bases than that. We'll do this one first. This one was nice because the anti-airs were on the outside, which made it a little bit easier. As you can see here, the blower is facing away. It's facing, on the outside there, so I am going to have to go against it, unfortunately. I got lucky because this right here, air is down. So I can lightning this one. And if what you're looking for when you're trying to take out an anti-air, an AA is one that could be, that could hurt the worst. Obviously, taking this one out with lightning would be pointless. But I get lucky because I can take this one out, and if the Hellhounds continue, I don't have to worry about the queen taking them out too fast. So if you choose one that's next to a queen, you need to make sure that your pups can get, or not your pups, but your baby dragons can get there as fast as possible to help kill that queen. If you leave her alive for too long, she's going to kill your Hellhound too quickly, and the rest of your troops won't be able to follow behind quick enough. Something else I'd like to point out is I brought a haste this time in the clan castle. Now you can bring a haste and or a poison. Poisons can help with killing, slowing down the queen so you can catch up some more, or if there happens to be clan castle troops, you can use it on them as well to slow them down and get the baby dragons is kind of what your main focus is. You want them to do most of the damage, and everything else is just kind of taking down towers and whatnot. So let's go ahead and see what we did here. Again, I went ahead and lightning that first. Earthquake set down. I like to use my baby dragons first because it kind of sets the board up. And see, I funneled them in a way because I want the majority of the baby dragons to, well, the goal is to go towards the center, is usually what I like to shoot for. So then I used my Hellhounds. They're coming in. Hellhounds are taking the damage. See, I got a lot of these baby dragons here. They're going to be coming in. Spread my loons out. And the reason why I set the extra balloons right here is because we have 2 infernos and a lot of heat in here in the middle. So my plan was to try taking out this side and this side and force most of my balloons to the center. I figured I was going to need a lot. Again, haste first. I like to get everything up there quickly. First haste wasn't probably the greatest. Because I had that third one, I was able to kick out Inferno nice and quickly. I rage this side to get these balloons going. And then again, haste. I like to use haste first, and then poisons towards the center. One, because the rage on the range on the rage is a lot more than the range on a haste, and you get that extra damage, which isn't really needed with balloons, as everybody knows. But so let's continue here. And I use the next rage because we need to get this Inferno before I lose too many balloons. And we did it. And we got this side clearing out too. I see quite a few baby dragons still. Enough in the center to not really be a worry. Now I did start to worry about the queen sitting there. At this point in time, I sat there and I was like, you know what, should I go for the 3 or should I just be happy with the solid 2? I think that queen being alive maybe affected it. So, still have the king queen, holding on to him. I can look at that right there. Air defense is down, or these baby dragons over here would be dead. I do decide to go ahead and kill the queen, just in case. Rage it up. Level 40 queen does work. But she dies, sure enough. And then from here, it's just clean up for the rest. I go and pop the ability, just to get the extra health back. Sometimes, you don't always try to use your ability if you need to. Just get the health back, because you don't want to wait as long. Helps with that cooldown rate. Get that queen back. Oh no, by the way, that last event that we had with the hero bonus for the 1 gem, I was using that constantly. I don't know anybody else, but constantly using it. I felt like it was really helpful, especially you can do more raids in a quicker amount of time. So that was a good 3 stars. And wasn't exactly an easy base, I would say. Now this one is a little bit different. Again, I like to try to get the anti-airs that are either next to the queen or possibly ones that are tougher to get. But I ended up going for this one because if you look at these are in a row. Anytime you can get them in a row, yeah, they're covering each other pretty well. But your hellhounds will go from one to the other, so you can kind of plan accordingly. And everything is kind of inside, and he has a lot of his, non-towers on the outside, so it's really easy to get things to centerize. See how this building is here, and that tower is there. Your balloons will go from here to here, already centering your balloons, making them towards the center. His infernos are in the center, which is nice. So the chance of your balloons going to the outside is less likely, is what I'm trying to say. So let's go ahead and see how this goes. I did this about 1:48, so this went pretty quick. Take that down. Earthquake. Okay. Again, I like to use my baby dragons first. I tried to avoid this anti-air, so I went ahead and threw the hellhound first this time. Spread the balloons out. Going to need that second hellhound, so I went in and used it already. See how it went from hellhound right there, went from this one to this one. Take up an extra inferno and some extra expo damage to keep the balloons alive a little bit longer. Again, haste I use first to get them caught up really quick. I'm still getting better at placing them. If you wanted to, you could try getting them more centered, but I just want them inside as fast as possible to start taking out some towers. That way, if you need to, you can always try using your heroes to clean up behind. First rage goes down, take out those, and even with that blower, nothing. It's also nice because if you rage the center of a base and you have the baby dragons following behind, what happens is the baby dragons, because there's so many, you lose that rage bonus. So it's nice to get them raged up so you get that extra damage. So I got 3 here. We'll take out that queen. Now I knew this blue air blower was a problem, so I decided to use my heroes to go and help out the baby dragon so I don't lose too many. Baby dragons here killing it here in the center. Extra one comes out. It's raged up, so it'll do some work. It'll get closer, lose its rage. Still have both abilities. Go ahead and pop the kings in just a second. And pop it. There we go. Queen still has full health. Wall breakers I just use just because I don't want to drop them later, so it's just easier to use them during the raid. And that expo was down, so no big deal. And again, 3 stars. I find this to be very effective against mid to low Town Hall 10s. Depends how rushed they are. When they become, you know, max Town Hall 10s or something like that, you can still use it, but getting 3 stars is a little bit less likely. It also helps. Something else you want to be aware of is if you're using it, watch out for the Infernos with single target Inferno, because what happens is if you have a single target Inferno and you send your Hellhound in too early, what's going to happen is like, okay, if this was set on single target and your Hellhound comes in and your troops are too far behind, your Hellhound's going to die really quickly and your troops are going to be way back here. Well, if your Hellhound's here and your troops are back here, it didn't do anything. You just sent it in there just to send it in there, in my opinion. Now, if it's on multi-target, maybe you can send it a little bit earlier. Watch the coverage. But I find this to be a very effective attack strategy. Again, I will show you. Minus this 146 there, which I might have passed on, but should have had both my heroes, and at least I would have got a star. Like I said, mid to 2 stars, a couple 1s. I think those were, yeah. But usually get 2 stars, solid 2 stars. So, hope this video helps. Anybody out there looking for a new attack strategy, or they like the Babyloon, I'm enjoying it a lot. This is Sir Charles IV, and you have a great day.